It's August 17th, Wednesday. With me, Muhammad Yusuf for TVS News at 5. Let us begin with our top story. Cebu authorities raided a house in Lorong Teku 16A for illegal crypto mining at 1:35 p.m. on Tuesday, August 16th, and a joint operation involving the Criminal Investigation Department (JSJ), Cebu District Police Headquarters, and the Sarawak Electricity Supply Corporation (SESCO). According to the District Police Chief, ACP Zulkifli Suhaili, this is the third illegal mining activity that has been crippled by the police.
He added that upon arriving at the scene, his team found that the house was vacant and police seized 36 crypto mining machines worth 37,000 ringgit. Meanwhile, it is estimated that losses from stolen electricity amounted to almost 393,085 ringgit. The case would be investigated under Section 379 and 427 of the Penal Code. For the record, a total of 44 crypto mining machines were seized during a raid at two residential premises on Jalan Surai and Lorong Setia 3 in a two-day operation on August 10th and 11th.
Independence Day, Malaysia Day, and Sarawak Day are days that show us the true meaning of patriotism. No one did it better than Azhari Hamdan, better known as Jare, who passed away yesterday at around 2 p.m. Best known for donning a customized Jalo Gemilang outfit in celebration of the National Month every year, he was a person who embodied this spirit.
A dear friend, Dato Ibrahim Baki, recalled the old days with Jare and stated that he was a cheerful person and loved to make people laugh.
Seorang yang beramah, baik hati, penuh tanggungjawab, dan sentiasa ceria. Jadi keceriaan tu wataknya tu, anggakannya tu suka macam menghibur orang. Menghibur orang, suka dengan orang happy. Sebab dia letih dan semangat dia dicampur dengan semangat patriotik. Bagi anak nangga tiap-tiap tahun, dia tu ada simboliknya tu.
Angkatan Warisan Anak Sarawak, or AWAS, recommends that a significant special award, which is Icon of Merdeka Darul Hana 2022, must be bestowed to Azhari Hamdan in his memory.
Sebenarnya UDAK ada menerima jemputan juga lah yang kami dengar daripada badan-badan agensi-agensi lah untuk menerima anugerah, dan kami ada rasa sedih juga sebenarnya sebab masanya hidup dulu belum ada yang nunggahnya untuk jadi ikon lah. Bila cunduk masanya meninggal tu, tiba-tiba aja dapat kata orang anugerah ialah ikonnya. Jadi kadang-kadang kata orang kami rasa sedih lah, sebab kadang-kadang kami terfikir juga macam bila orang yang memperjuangkan benda-benda macam tu, selalunya bila dia akan dapat anugerah macam tu bila dia masih ada. Ia malah kami sedih sebenarnya.
The late Azhari was washed at Al-Hakim Mosque and he was then buried in Semarang Islamic Cemetery.
This is TVS News at 5. Now, onto our topic of discussion of the week. Inflation is a highly debated subject in this day and age. No country is exempt, and most are affected by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) is expected to tame the inflation rate to under 3%. But will this be enough to counter the rate of unemployment in Malaysia, or specifically in Sarawak? Now, earlier today, we spoke to Dato' Abang Abdul Karim Tun Openg, the president of Sarawak Business Federation, to understand the relationship between inflation and unemployment.
Employment, we are very much affected, especially when we went through the pandemic era. 2 years, the economy is somewhat difficult to move forward because of the shutdown or that sort of thing, and what you call control movement. So I think you must be well versed on this issue on unemployment, and I think fortunately in Sarawak the government has been taking a lot of intimidating what you call measures in order to mitigate this issue. But alhamdulillah, I think the economy now, since we are in the transition endemic transition era, now the economy is slowly opening up, and because of that, I think the question, the issue on employment now slowly being mitigated, and we can expect this situation to be improved. But actually, as you may be aware, that certain sectors are having problems. They don't have people to work, Especially, this is an issue which we in the Business Federation are very concerned now. Because, for instance, if you look at the plantation sector, the oil palm plantation, a lot of the production has been affected. Because some of the areas they cannot harvest the fruits because no labor, and we are not these days not easy to get workers from our neighboring countries, for instance, because they need workers as well. You see, for instance, we have been depending quite a lot in terms of construction sector and plantation and service sector on Indonesian workers, and moreover, they are relocating the administrative capital to Nusantara, and that require a lot of workers, and because of that, probably the workers prefer to work at home, So that affect the supply of workers in what they call for Sarawak, and because of that also, since we have some problem, difficulty to get workers, definitely the salary will go up. That also, in a way, we are talking about inflation that affect not only their salaries but also some other thing, produce and product. So that's why, in a way, inflation and employment, as you say, is related.
Now, to cope with inflation, the federal government has undertaken several initiatives, such as the introduction of Bantuan Keluarga Malaysia (BKM) and billions worth of subsidies. What are some of the initiatives by the Sarawak government, aside from the Bantuan Khas Sarawak Kusayang, to empower or intervene in unemployment issues in Sarawak? Dr. Karim.
Sarawak is well ahead in this area, I think the government has prepared Sarawak well to cope with the development of digitalization. And probably we have been quite ahead in terms of Sarawak Pay, all that sort of online meeting, online Grab, for instance. Now is already people get used to it already. Yeah? That is something positive. But in terms of development, overall development, the strategy that come up by the government is very well diverse and quite comprehensive, huh? And I think so that, for instance, like the business sector, when we look at the development strategy, we are quite comfortable because we know where we are heading towards, moving forward. The direction is quite clear. So, in a way, we welcome the development strategy that the government has planned for us. But if you look at the objective or the target, is very ambitious. The base economy size in terms of size is 139 billion, economy, and the government through this strategic development, the 10-year development, actually it's not 10 years, it's 8 years left, is to increase the size of our economy in 2030 to 282 billion. Billion ringgit, That means 10 times. We see our role, like the Sarawak Business Federation, which represent, as I said, 80% of the business community, trying to complement and to play our appropriate role in trying to complement the government to achieve this target. That's why it's important for us, the private sector, also to get ourselves well organized so that we are able to position ourselves in such a way that we are able to interpret the government policy and transform the economy as what the government is expecting.
Now, the Sarawak Business Federation, SBF, has come a long way in being the voice of the business community. Since its launch in 2016, SBF has represented key organizations and industries in Sarawak, with its main objective to promote business, protect the interests of the business community, and to speak with a united voice on all matters that affect the Sarawak business community. Now, what are the roles of SBF in assisting the government in realizing its policies and aspirations?
As I have indicated earlier on, Premier always remind us that it is us, the private sector, that really can translate his vision. So I think in that way, the private sector, through organizations like the Business Federation and Chamber of Commerce, for instance, have a very important role to play. And at the same time, we should be able to networking with our business community. But at the same time, we should be able to play a role of intermediary, to complementary role to the government. The government has a policy, and probably through that policy, give us the opportunity to come up with certain ideas on how to translate those policies into something tangible. So I believe, in terms of opportunities, we have a lot. So it's important for the private sector to identify, to find out this opportunity, and to come up with creative and new ideas on how to develop these opportunities.
Thank you, Datuk Karim. Now, that's all the time we have for TVS News at 5. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you for watching and have a good day ahead.